25th. We're going to be dealing with this particular lesson here concerning the subject of death, which a lot of people are afraid of, and they should be, because it is a horrific experience for the lost. Our topic, God's explanation of what death means, Mark 9:30 through 50. Those are our lesson text scriptures. So we're going to go right into our specific lesson. What is death? I want you, if you will, to comprehend this word H4194, H4194 for the Hebrew understanding of it, and as G2288. G2288. That is both the Old and the New Testament. Now, we don't need no one explaining anything to us about death other than the children of God, because everybody else is truly unqualified to talk on the subject, even with a Bible in their hand. Death is natural or violent. Concretely, this is the Hebrew 4194. The dead, their place of state, Hades. Figurative, sometimes hell is called death. So you see the word, you look at the context, see what the subject is about. Figuratively, pestilence is called death sometimes. Ruin, something that cannot be used. To be dead or to die. Now you look at concerning in the New Testament, the one we mentioned, G2288. This one says, properly an adjective used as a noun, death, literally or figuratively. Deadly, death. Listen, that sounds pretty easy. So you and I, in our regular language, what our parents told us, when they see, this is what we need to understand. When a word is given, we have a word we use, but you must look at how the Bible explains what that word means, as Jesus gives a much more detailed explanation of adultery than a regular dictionary. Now, you have to know that, I have to know that, based on the other words that are in there, or else you and I can't speak intelligently on the subject. And so we understand, if your parents point to a dog and say, what happened to the dog? And you're little, you say, he died. So now you know when you see death, it's useless. You can't do nothing with the dog. It's going to stink after a while, and somebody's got to scoop him up and put him away and bury it, or put it in a dumpster, whatever they're going to do. So your mind cannot comprehend words. Listen to me, saints, please, that you don't understand, even from God. You must understand the word. Don't let these wicked saints in the church that are nothing but liars, both women and men, tell you what a word means. You already knew what certain words meant from a little child. This little child up here, Lee, knows what certain words mean. She understands things. So when you speak the word of the Bible isn't written in a language from heaven that you and I can understand. Don't let these guys come up and these women trying to talk around you on subjects. Because if they can't use words that you don't understand, and they can't make you understand them, you'll never be saved, brother. Nor will I. So we understand the concept of death. I want to talk about different levels of death so you will understand, yes, everybody dies. Yes, everybody has nothing but a spirit left. But why does God call one death and the other like it is not death? Because if you're not with God on the earth, let me make sure I'll be the first one of you didn't know to tell you, you're dead. Though you are alive physically. You're a dead person. You're like the movie, you're a dead man walking. And no saint wants to do anything with you that's righteous in the lines of trying to please God because you're dead. Do you want to eat with your dead relatives that have gone before you? I love my mother and father. I don't want to eat with them because they're decayed. You got me? So I don't want to eat with them. Do you want to eat with yours? So if you are dead on the earth, then that is everybody die, and then you're dead spiritually. One is in hell suffering, and one is in paradise. Please. And then that is when you leave from that place, you go to an even longer forever place on either side of the spectrum. That's right. But God deals with life as being connected to him. See, this is why you hear the roughnecks and the filthy vile of this land rise up and say, well, I don't worry about it, I'll be dead anyway. Well, see, you got to help them understand, no, baby, you're going to be dead, detached from the living on the earth. but you're not going to be unaware ever. Once God makes you, even in the womb, you are aware. You are limited in what you can see, visualize, touch, and grasp. But you're aware, and your awareness never stops. Ever. Ever. You know why? Because God never stops. Ever. Never. And he gave you a piece of him in creation. And it can never leave. See, because you're different than an animal. That's the difference. You're different than an animal. And that's what we want to deal with. So you can have a good comprehension. And maybe you and I will walk right after a message like this. Another message to understand God does not need us. He doesn't. And he is very serious when he says a rock will cry. If he can make a donkey talk, take it to the bank, he can make a rock speak if he so chose to do so. God don't need you and me. Consider it a privilege to be in the number. And let's walk like we want to stay in the number. So what happens in death? Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12. This will be a two-part lesson. Too much to cover to finish, and I want to rush through it because I want us to walk intelligently in the kingdom of God. Do you know that where a king rules, the power is what his mouth says? See, without authority given to a president or a king, there's no rule there. It's what he says. It's what he says can be a law. It doesn't matter. America can act like we don't have a king. We always going to have a king. You call him president, he a king. Yeah. And it's certain buttons he can push. All they can do is delay. He can keep pushing. But he's cautious because he doesn't want too much drama in his world because he wants to go down with a legacy. He wants to be remembered. That's any person ruling, I don't care how small your ruler are. That's what God uses to balance. That's why princes rule with wisdom, because they know, okay, people remember me as a loser. They might kill my family as I go. They may not do nothing for my family. When Judas was spoken of ill in the Psalms, it says, and let his children not be cared for. You know why? Do we think God is blaming his children for what he did? No. They are a part of him, saints. Your children are a part of your family. You act a fool, there's a good chance they're going to act a fool because they trust you. I don't think we know that. If you're disrespectful and a liar, do you understand that your children's a good chance because they know you fed them, they're going to take a little bit of you with them to the grave? So we need to understand that's why the Lord said to destroy him and his family. Why is Korah's family destroyed? Because the little Korahs are just a bigger fool as he was. Just we haven't got to exercise our muscles yet. We're too little. Why does he kill the Amalekite children? Because the Amalekite children are just the biggest fool as the Amalekite mamas and daddies. Because we're taking a piece of what you're saying. Rather you find one leave the family and fly off into another zone. It happens, but it's rare. And that's what we understand. That's why I'm on the punish the children, because I know what you're going to be when you grow up. So we need to understand that and hold on. Ecclesiastes 12 and 7 is going to break down for us some thoughts that you and I need to speak on this subject. He says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. The spirit shall return to God who gave it. Now that's all spirits go back to God. Yes. All. And God, now that's book, chapter, and verse. Good or bad. You got to go before the Lord and you got to tell your left, all right. And I don't think you're going to bypass that fork in the road. None of us. And we need to understand that. So there's no sense in discussing coming back to earth like the false religions teach. See, if you haven't decided this book is true, once the saints around you find out you don't decide this book is true, I'm one that try to be real quick to tell a person, when you're asking me, well, you won't be successful spiritually and physically because you don't trust this book is true. So don't start bringing up stuff to me about righteousness and how things should go and equality. I don't want to hear it because I'm not wasting my pearls on no hogs and no dogs. And I suggest you don't either. See, once you determine this isn't the final judge, then don't ask me no. If I don't have to serve anybody but those that want to be served. I'm not obligated to serve anyone but those that want to be served, nor are you. So we need to understand to protect yourself. Make sure the person talking, now you sure you believe this is right? Because you asked me something about this book. Right now we're not talking about job, it's about this book. So let's make sure that the individual you're talking to wants to consider what you're going to say from this book and then move forward, because what you do is you open yourself up to be attacked, and they'll take a little bit of what you have. As a dog, if he bites you, he takes a little bit of your flesh out of you. Do we understand that? That means some of Christ is coming out of you. Some of your belief system. So you understand? That's why he gives a warning. It isn't about saving time. It isn't about don't waste your time with them. It's about he will rend from you. You know, if a hog bites you, you don't have that piece of your leg left no more. So you lose that part of Christ. Now, how will you gain it back? Well, you're not going to be able to be around that individual anymore and interact with that type of subject continually, because you're not protecting yourself. Saints, we need to wake up. We need to wake up and understand what our job is, what our role is on this earth in the limited time you and I have, because we're going to leave here. All the law is going to return back. So therefore, we have an explanation of what happens at death. It cannot be stopped. Let's look at Ecclesiastes 8. So there's no sense in you trying to stop it. When it comes, whether it's induced or natural, it's going to happen. You can pray and maybe delay, but you'll never stop it. The subject is, can it be stopped? Ecclesiastes 8 and 5. Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. Now you know, right here is where people start doubting God. Well, I don't understand this, because people feel pain when they're hurting. See, now ignorance and the fool has risen up in me. He said, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Saints, when you have the Holy Spirit, if you're not quenching him, your intellect goes up. You understand time frame, you understand seasons, what's going on now. Men are more wicked on this side, men are less wicked. You understand jump, so I need to judge this. If you still walking like you did when you was in the denominational church, brethren, it's just a matter of time before you die lost. See, because that isn't how the saint walks. You're different now. Amen. And act different by listening to what is said. You shouldn't get caught up and entangled in the affairs of this world, because you're different. And so he says clearly here, you don't feel the evil thing. See, when the evil thing attacks the Gentiles, he feels it. See, if you've been in anguish and wrenchingness, you need to check yourself. Why are you like that? What's going on? See, you should not feel the evil thing, the being detached from God. Other saints who walk right, you, and all around the world, those that are righteous. Brethren, we walk by disaster as if it never happened. It doesn't matter the body count. Now, if you're not doing this, something wrong with you. You scared of death. I'm telling you not. You scared of death. And whoever listens, you scared. And God don't have no scared folks in heaven. We walk around disasters, tragedies, manglings, blow-ups, dissension, anarchy, like the restoration companies, like it never even happened. If you're not doing that, something wrong with you. You're immature spiritually. You know why? Because the master said, don't let your heart be troubled. See, because if you don't feel an evil thing, don't let your heart be troubled. Amen. See, when you see David in anguish, David has acted a fool. Slow down and remember what David did now. Don't put him next to Jesus, because he's not there. That other king's greater than David. I hope we know that. He's the first in the lineage after him. Is your family blessed forever. They had other kings greater than David. Josiah was a mighty king. Read the scriptures. That's why we're studying kings, when it says none was like him before. None catches David, right? You need to understand what the scriptures are saying, brethren. Don't put people up that God hadn't lifted as high as you're lifting. And we need to understand David has a lot of songs he wrote after he acted a fool with Bathsheba. After he numbered the people. David was writing and singing while he's running all the way to the Philistines, of people that God hated and that he hated, to get in their army. In fact, that's like you going to the Baptist church, standing right by the preacher, cry loud with a handkerchief. That's what David was doing. Cry loud. That would have been you. Nice suit on. Cry loud. That's what David did. He went into their army. You don't understand that. Put his name up and read it. Pull up Philistines and do some research. Search. Turn the TV off sometime and search.
Yes.
I'm just encouraging. We need to understand when you see anguish and wrenching, make sure we know what time frame. See, because he says the righteous know the time, and then now I know how to judge this. See, we like to make people greater than us. See, that's not a part of humbleness. Humbleness is to recognize all men are greater than us in some fashion. They have something we don't have. But to lift people up, that's not righteousness. David, Josiah. No. See, that's not righteousness. See, because you won't pick the man or woman next to you. They may be greater than all the people you've mentioned. See, you don't know who's the greatest on the earth. But Job was the greatest on the earth, and the Lord said, there's not anybody like him. Now, did we know that God knows who's the greatest person on the earth? And if you looked at Job, you saw he had some stuff, but he was the greatest in the East physically. But he was the greatest, period. So you'd have found somebody maybe in the West that had more than Job, but he was the greatest in his walk. You know, God knows who that person is. And God judges and determines, okay, this was a little higher than everybody else. Saul, when he was picked, was studying about the kings. Saul, when he was picked, was the greatest man in walking right with God on that dirt called Israel. Go back and read the terms. And he was taller than everybody else too. And he dropped like a jet, crashed and burned because he didn't listen. So don't think God don't know who the best. Might be somebody in here that's the best on the earth. So don't go picking and lifting up. Just honor all men and stay humble. Give honor to whom honor is due. And so we need to understand that Ecclesiastes is breaking down to us. You cannot stop this thing called debt. No man. He says, because to every purpose, verse 6, there is a time and judgment. Every purpose. Is the right time? Is this the time? Let's judge what we're going to do. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him. Verse 7, for he knoweth not that which shall be. You don't know what's going to be tomorrow, brethren. You'd be a liar if you say you would. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's happening right now. You have no idea what's going on. None. Nor do I. He says, for who can tell him when it shall be? And you don't know nobody that can tell you. And he's speaking at the time when there are prophets. See, because without the intervention of God telling the prophet, tomorrow about this time a man is going to come, they had no idea. See, prophets didn't just walk around with information. God constantly spoke to them in visions and in dreams. So when you see their writings, brethren, the chances of you and the chances of me outdoing what they said and not taking heed, your chances are a fat zero. You will fall or you will succeed. The chances of someone praying that the righteous will fall when he's walking right, the chance of that is zero. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Because the prophet spoke as God told them to write when he was writing the words of God. When he was writing down what God said. Now he was allowed to cry and weep. He was allowed to go, I said, I will not speak in your name, is Jeremiah. He was allowed to write that too. And you can clearly say, okay, now that's him. But when he spoke about what God said, the chances of you and me being successful, doing something different, your chances are zero. Zero. See, that's why people don't understand mercy and grace. See, God gives mercy and grace. But your chances of doing something and saying, I'm doing this and I'm doing like that, will be come and visit you. Because you're not getting that done. Because you don't know what's tomorrow. See, because the Lord already knows tomorrow. But we don't walk that way always. He says, verse 8, there's no man that have power over the spirit to return the spirit. See, there's no man. Not Moses. Moses died. The son said, you're not going to promise. He said, take Abram to the mountain. Take his ephod, because he's going to drop right there. Y'all got to roll him down in bed. Take his ephod off and give it to his son, because I'm taking his life. And you next, Moses. Of you two brothers, and you're going to get them to the edge, and then we're going to put you to sleep. That's what he meant. He said, because you did not honor me when I told you to. And Moses had to tell that story. Moses, tell them why I'm not getting in the land. Because you stole with me. You chose with me. And basically, I lost my cool. And Aaron didn't get my back. He let me, so he lost his cool. Do you know, if you don't check your brethren, and you're supposed to be together, you know you getting the same fate. I want to make sure we get this point. You know he said he was talking to Moses, but remember, Aaron's always there. He's talking to both of them. He says, Moses, Aaron's right by. So Moses is supposed to speak to the rock, and Aaron is supposed to watch to make sure he does. And when Aaron goes mute, his life goes mute shortly after. How many ever years it took. Brethren, you know, when you look at brethren, you wonder why y'all telling these brothers something. Let me tell you something. You need to pray. You need to ask God to forgive you immediately. You need to ask God to forgive you. And I need to ask God to forgive me. Because we can't let brethren do what they want. I'm not going to be Aaron. I hope you don't either. It don't matter whether anybody obeys. We're not sent for obedience. We're sent to preach. We're not sent to baptize. We're sent to preach. And if they want that, they'll get baptized. That's what he said. Teach. He that believes and is baptized. See, we say teach and baptize. Yeah, but he said to teach. Well, go rebuke your brother. Yeah, he says to go. The response, it's irrelevant. It's like when you're done, this job's done, this project is finished, let's move to the next. But we don't do that. We'll get stagnant and stay there, hoping a vigil and a candlelight burning is going to get somebody to obey God and change. Wasting your time, brethren. You need to handle your business. I'm going to handle mine. Because, see, we don't understand. Saints went through a lot of anguish. And Paul is clear, through much tribulation, you're going to enter in. Much, not a little, much tribulation. That's the way it's going to be. And so we hope that each will accept that and live by it. He says, he has no power to attain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. Got no power when it's time to die, none. You can be holding their hand, and you can have a chain handheld all the way around the globe where every saint is together, and they're going to take the last breath. And that's it. Let it go, because the body's starting to tear. Get on out of there. They soon will stink it. I've been in place before where people said, we better go. The body going to start smelling after a while. He had a lot of open wounds. Okay, let's get out then. It's reality. Wake up. It's real. You talk about Jesus all the time. Let's live it, because it's real. It's real. This is real. People talk about the struggle that's real. Let me tell you something. This is real. See, because I can struggle like Lazarus, and I can still make the heaven. That's right. This spiritual walk, this spiritual struggle is real. And you got a one-on-one battle with Satan, and he never lose. See, say when he coming for you, he know victory. Gonna mark mine down unless this fool listen to Jesus. I'm taking him out. There's no man on the earth that has been made by the hands of God that has ever defeated the devil, save for Jesus Christ. Amen. So he's not afraid of us like that. He's afraid when he see that mark out of the spirit. But he's not scared to test. Because he know I've made a many of them coward saints run with a yellow stripe big as the driveway on their back. I made a many of them run. I just stomped hard enough and they out of there. I can't even see where they went to go get them. They run so fast. He know he'll make us run like children when we cowards. When we cowards, brethren. But he also know he got his head stomped by many saints. And he can recognize when there's a battle before him. You need to bring it. You need to bring it, brethren. And I'm bringing it. Bring it to him. Let him know. Now, you're going to have to win this one because I'm not losing. And the Lord will stand by you. If you're not winning your battle, brethren, you lost already. It's just a matter of time. Before this, what we're talking about, death hits you. It's a matter of calculated time and judgment that you out. Because you're not winning the battle. And you got to win. There's a reason we're talking about different subjects, so they can connect. That the Lord is with us, and let us understand to fight the battle to be victorious. He says, and there is no discharge in that war. None. See, you may think something went right because you saw somebody die. Brethren, let me explain something to you. Paul said, judge nothing before the time. You don't know what that person thought about in their heart as they lived. You don't know what they said on the way going out because they wasn't talking. They were just laying there. You don't know what they thought when the injury or the disease first hit them. You don't know what they said in their heart when the trouble first came. All you saw, somebody saying, baby Jesus with, and in their heart, what does the Bible say? He says he's with you, but his heart is far from you. So stand down and just hope. From what I saw, I hope to see this in heaven. Anything past that is sin. Because you don't know. You don't know. And that's the thing we need to understand. Keep yourself safe. And so will I. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. See, your wickedness, the power of evil, the profane, cursing, body, threatening little fish. Your little fleshly fish can lock up in a stroke, and your skin will be smooth as butter because it don't move no more. And that's it for you. You get fed and then you die because you have no power to threaten. Nothing that God doesn't want will happen. Nothing. And so we understand these things. This power of death, it is a monster. It's a beast. You can't stop it. That's what Solomon said. So what do we do? Let us discuss the spiritual death. The man is different spiritually from the beast. Let's look at Ecclesiastes 3. See, he's different than the beast. See, that's why the vegans who started out saying that, not the people who just do the diet, the actual vegans who started it. Some people don't even know their own history doing something, don't even know the history. Get mad when you tell them about, I didn't write the nonsense, they wrote it. But the idea is that the individual started out with the mentality, animals and men are the same, so don't eat your brothers. That's what it's about. But they can't stop a tiger right there in India from eating another animal. See, so I don't know what type of lie they come up with that because I don't read, Pastor. I read enough to know his food and I'm gone. I've done enough. Other stuff to read more important. But the idea is that he doesn't want that, so he says, okay. Then they have some who are so strict, they won't even eat things at night. Because they say, bacteria and stuff is developing. So it's alive, so don't eat it at a certain time. After sundown, it's all kind of stuff. So Solomon going to tell you and me, those people are not of God and they're lost. This book, that's what I say. If you got a problem with this book, you got your own book, and that too will perish. And your own book is you. And so the idea says in 3 and 14, I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Ouch. Nothing can be put to it. Ouch. So that means your prayer. You can't stop God from doing nothing that he says he's going to do. When Moses said, don't kill them, he said, I've heard you, but I'm going to take them through the wilderness to test them. Kindly saying, I'm going to show you they're not no good. And then they end up getting him in trouble. See, when God tells you something not right, saints, by his action what to do, saints, dear sweet saints, run with him on it. I don't care how sweet she look. I don't care how pretty he is. He's no good. They're no good. And when God say a thing not good, you better tighten up and step back and say, well, that's not good. Now, you make your move into it, God be with you. See, because, brethren, you don't understand, a battle will not look right to those that don't walk with God. They'll be like, man, I don't know why. Okay, let's just hold on, because you don't know what you're doing now. You have somehow got off center. You're on road 3 when you should be on road 1. And you're going slowly in the wrong direction. Like the GPS tells you a couple of miles in advance. Take a left at the next. Okay, now that next one is 2 miles. Keep on riding that lane. When you get over, try to get over mad, cussing at folks. Now it's going to take you 3 miles. Come back. It'll be 30 minutes off schedule. Because it told you in advance 2 miles. Get to the left at the next. When is the next one? Let me get to the left now and I'm set. I do no nervous movement. Because it's telling you in advance, get ready. It's down the road. You haven't the curve over here. It's way over there. All right, just get ready. Get to the left now. Because there's going to be drama when you reach that point. It's the same with the God of heaven. He said, okay, when death comes, not going to be no left or right move. We're just going to be like the airplane with the red handle flashlight. No, you coming this way. You going to run. You know you can't go no other way but this way. That's the way it is, brethren. Understand that. If tragedies are troubling you, you're letting your heart be troubled. The Lord said don't do that. You don't understand the concept of life, death, time, and judgment. You're off center. And when your tragedy comes, you won't be ready, nor will I. And so he says clearly, can't put nothing to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him. So that's why I do it. He says, that's why I don't let it change. You, oh Lord, I'm not going to let it change. Oh Lord, not going to let it change. Help up. That's not going to change because I need some fear struck in the people you around that this going down like that because I said it's going. That's what God's saying. I said it's going. And pray all day. I left you when you first started talking. It's like he did Abraham. Oh, Ishmael, he said, and he left off from talking to him. God left. Still there, Lord, is it? Man, I'm gone. I don't know who you talking to. You Abraham, but you not me. You not God. You don't tell me nothing. If I say it's going to be the boy that the old woman going to have that's almost 100, that's the boy I'm dealing with.
That's right. It's true.
That's understand, brethren. It's past what your mind can grab. You couldn't understand that. You couldn't talk about it. They got a course that's taught in college about that. You know what's silly about that? Those poor souls are not saints. How you going to describe a sensation that you haven't felt yet? Do anybody get to come back and talk about it? So how you going to write a course on that? I remember a guy says a beautiful course. He said, when you get through hearing it, you're ready to die. I just like to know, is this a guy who came back from the dead that taught it? And a gospel preacher said that. Now, I remember saying it one time after. I asked God to forgive me. I came back. I said, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that because I just realized nobody came back to talk about it. You can't describe something you don't experience. So he died and came back. Says you, not him above. Man, you just went into a deep, my body floated above, and you think we're going to believe you? I got one question. How's the soul saved? Once you don't explain, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I had a saint tell me one time, people were around them. And they said, I died. And I'm listening to them now. And I love them. I've been knowing for years. And they said, people were around me. And they said, Stephen, it's a beautiful experience. They didn't say anything. I don't want to be around no people that don't say nothing to me. Everybody I see, an angel that talks to the righteous, all open their mouths and ask, do you know what this is? Come here. Don't bow and worship me. Get a good conversation. It's just mute. I don't want to be around. That was hell. You might have went to hell. I didn't want to tell you. You might have went to hell. They might have been like, shouldn't have came here. Don't say nothing. No. But I know you ain't going nowhere. You had a dream. See, you've been reading too much. You've been reading too much. God help you. So he says, that which hath been is not. Look at what Solomon breaks down, verse 15. Very important verse. Let me tell you something. What is an airplane? Transportation. If you go to the moon, transportation. Transportation has always been around since man started transporting. So what does Solomon say? That which hath been is not. Whatever that is not. Now he gonna know this is not. Look, you know that's what I love. This is the wisest man God has ever made. And there will not be another like him ever. And Jesus reemphasized that. And that which is to be already have been. If he even said, what can you do more than the king? Solomon had limitless money, limitless ideas. He said, what can you do more than a king? Not a king, the king. He said, what you gonna do more than me? None of y'all gonna have what I have. None of y'all gonna be like me. He knew that. What you gonna do that I haven't done? Nothing. He says, and God required that which is past. Whatever went down and behind you, or somebody's done, Nebuchadnezzar, the first only rule of the earth, golden, best material is his description. The little stone went all the way back and destroyed because he said it's past. But I remember what you said. So all of your kingdom, Syrian, Assyrian, all that you defeated, you're nothing to me. That's what I mean. That's why it goes backwards to show this is nothing. I'm going to blow it away. Nothing. All your gods, they didn't exist. Where are they now? Nebuchadnezzar. The statue. All your money, where is it now? You have no rule. All your family, it doesn't even exist. Nobody could even find one of your family. Truly say that's your blood. Nothing. That's the problem. Because the Lord says, I rule in the kingdom of men. And brethren, believe that. He means that. And he lets his rule be known. That's why you ain't see disasters hit. Now you have to stop in American anyway and say, you know, y'all been talking crazy about what you can do. Disrespecting God. Well, you a part? No, I said, y'all, I haven't been talking like that. You better wake up at this disaster. Something needs to shake you up. We can have a flood. People still, you know, as soon as the water drops, flooded houses, people still going to nightclubs, still sinning, still getting high. Even more reasons getting high. I lost everything. Give me the pipe. I lost everything. You have done nothing different. And then those that claim went to denomination church, you're even a worse case. From the frying pan into the fire. But see, that disaster you pass by, I remember passing by and say some of these same trash piles are sinning right now. Some of these same trash piles, the lies with it are damnable and speaking against God right now, even after he left them alive. So why would I break down and lose it? Oh, that would be tears and sorrow. But they would be wiped and lifted up and move forward. Because thank you, God, that you can see. You understand? That's why you're hated. See, you can't, the Lord is saying you can't hate the world because you're of the world. So you have to hate the world that has become like me. That's why you don't see the same aggression to the Presbyterian and Baptist church, the Vishnu, the Muslim, because it is of the world. It's cousins. But we're the outside children that have left the family. He says they can't hate you. Why? Because you're just like them until I change you. And now they got a reason to like it because you're like me and you're in my house and they hate me. He says the world can't hate. Brother, you know the world can't hate you. It's only because you walk as Christ that they don't like. It has nothing to do with you. Not personal. You're us. That's what I tell you. You're one of us. But because you want to be like him and he's in you and you're in his house, oh, we don't like you now. He says it can't hate you because it knows you're us. But you're different now. When you become different, then it can hate you. Verse 16, moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, he says clearly, that wickedness was there. And the place of righteousness, that iniquity, he said, look, he said, the place where righteousness is supposed to be hidden. Judgment, courts. You know, they had courts in Israel. Courts, judgment, judges, people making decisions. He said it was crooked. I thought, man, they crooked too. My goodness. Verse 17, I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time for every purpose and for every work. I said in mine heart concerning the state of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. Now watch what he said. I said in my heart, that God will make it known. They're nothing but beast. Beast. Evil. Watch this, verse 19. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Death. That's death. Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. When a dog dies, if a human dies right by them, both dead. Useless pieces of meat you can't do nothing with. Yea, they have all one breath. Have all one physical life in them. Just one, just one. And when that's taken, here comes a difference. And now we're going to look at a different thing. So that the man hath no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. It's all vain. Flesh profits nothing. John 6:63. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. The flesh profits nothing. He even spoke of his own flesh. Verse 20. All go unto one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. That's the one place. All go right back to the dirt. Boom. You leave both piles there. You come back years later, it'll be dirt. Even come back years later, it'll be nothing but dirt. Even the bones will turn to dirt. Exposed, out, open into the atmosphere, the elements. He says, who knoweth the spirit of man? Watch this. Here comes these chains, the fork in the road, that goeth upward. All men die, he's already said, and go back to the Lord. All men go up. Always the Lord up, but they go up to him to be judged. Now watch this, what happens. And the spirit of the beast that goeth down to the earth. Y'all see that? All the dogs go to hell. Because they're not intellectual beings. So, why would I think I'm going to come back as a dog, as a false Hindu religion and other religions of the Indian culture and other cultures all over? Why would I think I'm coming back when the dog going down? He's going to hell because he is a beast. And he's not a good beast. Because he has not, some dogs are different temperaments. Has nothing to do with his intellect to worship and honor the Almighty God. So why would I make the head of a jackal on a man? Because my soul is lost. See? So when you see the intermingling of animals or humans in picture form, you know, you don't have to go any further. Well, that nation's lost. Or that group, they're lost. Because God doesn't intermingle that. The spirits go different places. They're not intermingled. A good man regardeth his beast, the law says. He thinks about it. Feed him, get him out the ditch. Just don't run over animals intentionally. Right. He regards, but he knows he's not human. Right. So therefore, when we begin to treat an animal like a human, we're off-centered. Henceforth, this society you live in, this culture, has gotten to that point. You know, it's amazing, though, even the people who are animal activists that go overboard, it's amazing how they'll pass a dead dog on the road, too. You won't find one animal activist that's going to go around picking up dead animals. All they got a jar, nice suit to go by. Somebody hit that dog. I just don't understand why people don't have more compassion. Well, go pick him up. Now, I bet you won't pass a human like that. Now, pass a human like that. Amen. And then somebody say, see that green car? He passed right by. They're going to have you in cuffs, your face on the back of your hood, and they're going to put you in the back because they're going to say, you passed by this dead body. And you telling me you ain't see that guy had a suit on like yours laying out there? Nah, man, did you kill it? They say you slowed up and looked and drove off. Did you do this? And then you said, no, I just passed by because I was late for work. I ain't want to stop. Nah, they got you either way. You're going to say something. Because, you know, you don't pass no human being laid out like that. You don't do that. Even if you drunk. I say, well, I'm scared they're going to move. Well, just go bump him on his leg. He can't leap up that fast. He's not a martial artist. Just bump him on his foot. Get your phone out and start talking, hey, fella, see, is he breathing? Hey, ma'am. Right. You know, but people do that. They'll pass by a body. Look at that drunkard. How you know they're drunk? How you know they didn't die? If they are drunk, you going to leave them out there for a car to run over? See, society holds accountable. Why? Because it comprehends this is not a dog. This is a person. It's a person. And don't hit them. Because they really coming for you now. They really coming for you. You know why? Because we can understand time and judgment. But we will not do that when it comes to righteousness. And that's what Solomon's trying to get us out of. He says, wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? Solomon says, look, man, enjoy your stuff. Let me tell you something about life. You need to be careful with not using the stuff you got. Because when you die, somebody going to have it wore out in a matter of weeks, months, and days. See, because you got to understand. Well, I understand preservation, yeah, but don't get crazy. Because you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. You know, you got to understand something, brother. You saving something for somebody else. I'm not talking about leaving inheritance. I'm talking about, like, you don't want to use this because, no, you need to use it. Because the next person's going to use it up. So he said this. See, this is wisdom, so you enjoy your things. Don't have nothing that's too good for you to use. That's a piece of wisdom, bro. Don't have nothing that's too good for you to use. Because, you know, people going to mock you later. They're going to pull it out of the closet and say, they never wore it. They say it was saving it. And they're going to put it on. They going to wear it. You better wear it and enjoy it. Because he said, this is the portion that the Lord has given you. Enjoy your stuff. Whether it's a gift or you bought it. Because the Lord is saying you're not enjoying what I've let you have. How would you look at a child and say, you never play that toy? I'm saving it. Baby, play with the toy. And they're a child. The chance of you outliving them is slim to none. But the idea is just play with your toy. Enjoy your stuff. Have fun. Utilize it. Somebody else going to get it. Nevertheless, we understand that. Also, we need to understand that when the righteous die, that they are different than the wicked. Remember that, brother. When the righteous people die, they are different than the wicked. It's a different place that we go to. One goes to a place of comfort. Luke 16 is clear. The righteous. And one goes to a place where the whole motive of God, each second, each minute, each hour, if that were a time frame, is to torture, destroy, and cause you to remember you shouldn't have never disrespected me. See, because we don't understand the amount of effort, even though it's effortless for God to do, because he says when people ask him things, he said, that's a light thing. That's nothing. See, God knows what takes energy and effort from him. And he knows to put us together, to create us. He says, this is greater than anything else that I've made. This human. All the solar system. You know the power of just one star? Its power to give light, to give heat, to do whatever. Just one star. You can imagine all the solar system, the earth, the moon, all the things that are around, all that we can see and what's too far for us to see. Some things we may never see. He's clear, he says. It's not comparable to one soul. Because I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to roll it up like a scroll. God's just going to roll it up just like a scroll. Two scrolls. Roll it up. Toss it. But the souls of men, he says, I'm keeping. I'm keeping. You need to understand how important you are. So we can either choose life or death. If you're here, well, part two, if you're not a member of the church, recognize something, saints. You can be a member of the church and still be lost. We're aware of that. But if you lost, you lost. So you got to first be a member of the church to validate if it's something that's not worthy of you. Well, we challenge you to prove it. Recognize, we know you cannot be saved outside the kingdom of God. God is clear. From Adam to the last man standing, you must walk according to what the Lord has said. Whatever dispensation of time, whatever judgment he has made. See, the wise know there's a different time in judgment before the law of Moses. There's a different time in judgment during the law of Moses. And there's a different time in judgment after the law of Moses. See, God is very akin and wise to time and how a thing should be. So we're not bringing animals in because this is a different time and the judgment has been made. Don't do that. If you would have been before Moses, you would not have brought the things that Moses said because there is no knowledge of it. So we need to understand that. So what is time and judgment now? There's only one group that the Lord gave the power to save. The 120 in Jerusalem on the day of Pentecost. That is it. That is the one church, and it becomes activated on the day of Pentecost. Amen. Anything before is invalid, anything after is invalid. It's regardless of what you call it. And so, how is the system began? In Acts chapter 2, words are repeated about a dead man who is alleged to still be alive. And in verse 36, he is clear in his explanation that the same Jesus whom you have crucified is both Lord over all and Christ above all. He is anointed. So the difference in Lord Christ is Christ, he's anointed, he is above all. Lord, he is over all. So what's the major difference? Major difference. He's the ruler and the selected. which means nothing. There's no other category to put one in. And so when they hear this, well, what is the this? He's still alive. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4, Paul says clear. This statement is so powerful, it maintains it's a maintenance factor for all the saints all the way to the grave. He said how Jesus both died and was buried. On the third day he rose again. According to the scriptures. He said, if you have not believed in vain. Mm-hmm. See, saints, whenever you start questioning that, you're already in lane 2. You're no longer in lane 1. And you'll keep hitting bumps and pits and ditches and rocks and tear up your vehicle, until you get back in the right lane. Mm-hmm. So Jesus says, this statement is so valid, he kicks it off. In Mark 16 and 15, go into all the world and teach every creature. Doing what? Baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. He wants them baptized. Matthew 28, verse 20. Everything that he does is centered around the argument, the statement, I live again though I were dead. I was made just like you, and I live. And none of you have done it before me, and none of you will do it after until I usher you in to my system. Amen. So he says, he that believes and is baptized shall be saved when he teaches the gospel. He that believes not shall be damned. Brother, if you question that, why are you wasting your time? Eat, drink, and be merry. You're going to die tomorrow. Live your life. Go on and die. Because if you're questioning that, you're wasting time. God doesn't make any apologies for not letting you see his son or see heaven. He doesn't make any apologies. Because he knows I've made it what it is necessary. See, it's not necessary for me to walk on air jets and float through the land, because I can walk on the land. So it's necessary to have somebody, man, I wish I had air jets. Why did the Lord not give me air jets? It's not necessary. And I've made it where you can go to and fro, Ozan, on the dirt. Remember that. You're looking at them as having seen him means something more. It means nothing more. They still, even his own, according to Matthew 28, even his very own. Verse 11, as he's going up, they look in doubt, doubting at least too. Is that really him? So you thought it meant something to see him? Don't mean nothing. To see the miracles? No one-upsman, same thing. He said, we're more blessed. Because he has created a system where I don't need to see nothing. See, that's why you need to help people understand. Well, till I see something, say, yeah, you know what, well, right now, you're not doing this, that, and that. So I don't see it. So I'm not going to be your friend no more. See, now we mad. Everybody's mad. Well, see, that would destroy the world. So we walk by faith and not by sight. You have love. You don't need faith or hope in a person. You have love. Let me tell you something. Why all marriages end because of love. See, faith and hope don't need to be there. You don't need it. It's not the greatest. Love. I tell every divorced person, one of you didn't love. Don't tell me who, because I don't want to know. But I know one of you. That's why you ain't married no more. Now, I don't care who, because it don't matter. But it ain't because of nothing, grandma. No, one of y'all didn't love, so we're done. Somebody got to acknowledge which one didn't love. You can't make nobody love you. It's life. Jesus can't make us love. It violates his judgment of time. I can't make them. You got to want to. So if you believe that and you can accept that, Peter tells them when they're asking, men and brethren, what shall we do? I was looking at some statements that were sent in to the radio, not to the radio, to the Facebook, church Facebook. And one of the statements, one person said, you have to be baptized to be saved. A lot of the saints said, amen, that's right, brother. Some women said, amen, brother, good point. Some lady sent in with her picture. I wouldn't even put my picture, but she's bold. So I guess y'all going to say that because Billy Graham didn't say be baptized. Now, see, now she tagged Graham, and Graham didn't, that what he said wasn't true. Please. Nobody even respond. You know why one time? Because we know you lost. By the name you called. We got saints all around the world looking at Facebook. They look at Facebook, communicating all night. Like, oh, you can't respond, huh? See, that's what, did he answer Herod? He said, y'all want to do something? He said, show me something. He didn't even answer. Mm-hmm. See, some things don't need to be answered. We already gave you an answer. Be baptized and be saved. Right. That's one thing, saints, I encourage you to understand. You can label all you want. But some saints just don't waste time responding back after something said like that. Some saints, you know, well, we already gave the answer. The answer was above this answer. So, you know, see, Walk by that tragic soul loss like it never even happened. Why? Because you chose that. Billy Graham. Billy Graham, of all the people to pick. Not Peter. So what did Peter say? Acts 2:38. Repent, change, and be baptized. What? For the remission of sins to have them removed. And you shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. The seal which you need. Because he's loose now. For the promise unto you and to your children, all that are fathers, even as many of the Lord our God shall call. And with many other words did he testify. He encouraged them to exhort. Save yourselves. Why? Because all you Jews are lost, except the little flock, 120. The 120. All are lost. Then they that glad receive his word were baptized the same day. 3,000 souls were added unto them. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, the breaking of bread, and in prayers. Scriptures say. And the Lord, Acts 2:47, add to the church daily, such should be saved. The fellowship is so important. It's mentioned separate. 1 John chapter 1, the whole chapter is clear. If you walk in the light as Christ is in the light, I mean, you have to follow him. His mannerism, his walk. He says, then you can have fellowship one another with the others who walk as Christ is in the light. Fellowship is critical. You got to walk like Christ. So he says clearly, as we read further, Acts chapter 8, the eunuch is very excited about baptism. Philip has yet to show the exuberance because he knows something else got to be said. Hang on. If you believe with all your heart, you may be baptized. He says, I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. It's very clear. Then he stops the chariot and then he baptized. Now the rejoicing can begin. Paul says because the Holy Spirit is the main catalyst that makes it happen. 1 Corinthians 12:13, for by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether Jew or Gentile, bond or free, and have all been made to drink into one Spirit. Sometimes you can ask the same, what does that mean? All you can do is repeat it. To drink the Spirit in, like you drink water, but it's not water, it's the Spirit, you drink them in. Only way you can do it is in baptism. You can't say nothing else. How can these be? Well, you don't believe. Nicodemus, not time to go to John 3. You don't believe. We know we've seen, and that's our report, because the Lord gave it to us, so you don't believe. That's not, from that point, nothing we can do more. That's it. We can work together, we can build mountains, size building, but we can't do nothing to honor God. Our deal is done. And if you try to put your hands into their deal, the Lord says, so you're going to make a league with them? Now you start to unravel. You start to unravel. And he promises, I'm going to get that saint. He told Ezekiel, go to my house first. See, the Lord is like a sharpshooter. He says, okay, before you do anything, go to my house first. Because I want that clean first. What did he clean first? Heaven. What did he clean first? The Jews. God is about first. First things first. He doesn't forget. He goes straight to what is his most prized possession, and he says, clean this first. Clean this first. If we understand that, we can believe that, God will rescue. He says clearly, for by one Spirit are all baptized into one body, whether Jew or Gentile, bond or free, and have all been made to drink into one Spirit. So if you believe that, it saves. The power of the King, where his word is, shows there's rule. We are kings and priests. Revelation 1, 5, and 6. And your power, your authority, your rule, your key is in the word. And if you have a problem with repeating, if you have not been baptized properly into the Lord's church, you are not in. 1 Peter 3, 21 and 22, the life figure, whereas even baptism does also now save us. Not the putting away of the filth of flesh, but the answer of a good conscience to our God by the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who's gone in heaven. Angels, authorities, and powers are subject unto him. I had a guy that I had the sorrowful task on his part, being sorrow, of telling him that his nephew wasn't saved because they allowed the daddy, who's not a member of the church, to baptize him and participate in the salvation process because they thought it might encourage him to one day be baptized. So he got angry with something that was said by Brother Stephenson, and he attacked me. I said, God stands by what Henry said, and so must I. He said, well, how can you say? I said, because it's in the Bible. I said, let me ask you a question. Is the light that you're around physical intermingle with the darkness that you're around? I said, no. I said, let me tell you something. Look, you called me. I said, don't change. I said, you don't control the conversation because I didn't call you. You called me. I control it. You're with the wrong answer. I'm reading mine. I asked if you can show light and dark together, or I'm telling you goodbye. I'm hanging up my phone. He said, well, no, I say, so does Christ and Belial work together? No. I say, then this dead man, have you seen a dead person work with the undertaker and bury another dead person? He's all been now this physical. I said, so this dead man now has the authority by God, though he's in darkness, to save the life of those who are lost like him. I said, when light and darkness come together, then you can validate that point to me. He has been white hot mad like fire. Fire gets so hot ever since. And has attacked the church and attacked the church, though he be a member. But, you know, I wouldn't apologize if he begged me. I'll do anything. The Lord said, if you apologize for telling the truth, I'd rather die right now. I'd rather the Lord put me in hell now. That's where I'm going to go. I'm telling you, brother, you have to understand what death is about. See, none of us can help each other in death. Guess who can't help you in death? Christ. Either you are alive when you die, or you're dead. And he will not help you at the judgment. You must be alive. Matthew 7:21. So therefore, he says, baptism saves. 1 Peter 3:21 and 22. The like figure why until baptism does also now save us. And thief on the cross now knocks him out. Not to putting away the filth of the flesh. We know it's not the wall. But the answer of a good conscience, the soul's responding to our God. How he gets his power? By the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Very simple explanation. And where is he at? Make him so big? Okay, smarty. He is in heaven at the right hand of God. Angels, authorities, and power are subject to him. We're done. See, we walk by that tragedy as your soul goes into hell like it never even happened. Like Sarah Pro said, like it never even happened. It's so clean, pass it right by. And it should not flinch your walk. If you believe that and you're ready to be rescued, you can. Jesus says in Revelation 2:10, behold, the devil shall cast some of you in prison. He's talking to the righteous. The letter to the righteous. Guess what? The sinner is already in Satan's jail. He's talking to the right. But he's going to put you in a jail of suffering. If you're already in Satan's jail, he don't care what you do. But he wants to torture the saint. So there's a jail of torture and suffering and pain that is a temptation to you, which means it causes you to suffer if you want that thing. So it says, you are put in prison. He said, 10 days. He gets 10 shots. He's going to use all of them. Be faithful to death. That's all he said. He said, I don't have to let you out. He said, be faithful to death. Receive everlasting life. If the Lord thought it was so bad, he'd let us out. If he thought it was so bad, he said, I'm going to come and break the bond. And he said, just be faithful. If Jesus walked by you, say, I'm in praise of the Lord. He said to me, be faithful unto death. I'll be back to get you. If you don't believe that, get ready to die. The second death. That's what we're going to talk about next week. If you're here, you need to be baptized, stand up. Don't delay. Don't wait. You're wasting your life. As Paul was told, rise and be baptized. If you're here, you need to change. This is the opportunity. If you're listening to this message, ask God for help, and he will surely rescue you. He will send someone to save your soul, to baptize you. If you believe. Whatever state you're in, come now, together we stand and sing Heaven's invitation. Calling for